All right, what is going on, YouTube? It's the Dirty Harry here with his review of The Walking Dead, Season 3, Episode 10, also known as Home. All right, to start this review off, let me start by let me hat off right quick. Moment of silence for Axel's character. That shit was fucked up. God, why they do that to Axel? All right, hat's back on now. All right, let's talk Episode 10, Home of the Walking Dead. Am I the only person who thinks The Walking Dead last few episodes have been mediocre compared to what we've had over the last, well, how long has it been since it started, really? The last two episodes have been like dragged, and forced, last week's episode was pretty good because Tyrese's group was in it, and we were left on a cliffhanger with Rick losing his mind and all that. But it was kind of like last week's episode was great with a bad ending to it. But this week's episode, it just dragged and dragged and dragged. And then you get, I'd say, the last 10 minutes of it, bam, stuff starts to get real. And you're like, oh, okay, good, good, good. Here we go, here we go. And then bam. Let me start by saying, like I said, if Woodbury was chopped out of this episode, Andrea walking around da, 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 for 10 minutes, I would have loved this episode. You know, um, I'm really disappointed that they killed Axel's character off because I saw so much potential for him. I think it was a few episodes ago when they were at the prison with Axel and he started looking at Herschel's other daughter kind of funny. And I think it was Daryl or Glenn who had to check him on that. Like, dude, what the fuck you looking at like that? Or maybe it was Carol. Somebody checked him on that, but it was like an undertone that Axel may be locked up for like child molestation or something, and that could really do something with the group. And I was like, okay, okay, that's interesting. But then this episode, they veered away from that and they made it out, okay, he's not such a bad guy. And I actually was like, okay, they're not going with the child molester angle with him, but at the same time, all right, I'm starting to like him when he was telling that joke about his brother and all that. And then, bam, got headshotted just like that, man. I was like, damn, I didn't see that one coming. Um, Now on to Glenn. Glenn is a character that when the show first started, I was on the fence with him. He was a character that I didn't dislike, but I wasn't completely, oh my God, it's Glenn, the way I am about Daryl and Rick. Glenn really grew on me. When he took that beating from Merle, I said, that dude got balls, man. And then this episode, you see Glenn, you know, he's acting like a normal man would. He thought his girl got raped, so he like, I'm about to go do something to the governor and whatnot. And Glenn was at the same time trying to hold the group together with Rick, wandering around in La La Land while dealing with his own ego and pride over what the governor did all at once. And I like how they showed that. Uh, Maggie punching Glenn in the cell and whatnot. A lot of people didn't like that, but it's like Maggie's a woman. Women do that shit, man. So I was fine with that. It's good to see. You know, they made the relationship real even in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, which is the worst time to be getting emotional. But it's good to see that between them. And then you have Glenn get pissed and all that. That ain't nobody really with him. Herschel started to really get on my nerves during this time because you're like, I see Glenn, he's trying to hold together, even though he's letting his ego get in the way. He is still trying to hold together. And every time Glenn says, "All right, we're gonna go, y'all go to that side of the prison and check to make sure this," and Herschel rolls up on crutches. You sure you want to do that, Glenn? And Glenn like, well, look, we're gonna do this then. You sure you want to do that, Glenn? And I was like, man, come on, Herschel, man. If you ain't got nothing productive to say, if you ain't gonna say, well, that's a bad idea. Why don't we check this side of the prison? You don't be saying that. You sure you want to? Because I'm like, man, if that was Rick, Herschel wouldn't be pulling that shit. But Herschel pulled it at the right time, in the last episode when he was like, Rick, man, you making a mistake, man. These are good people, you know. Rick's my favorite character, if you guys didn't know, because Rick is a fucking boss. That man don't care, man. He rolled up in Woodbury, shot up the whole town for his boy. And then, 10 minutes after shooting up the squad, oh, damn, Daryl in there too. Well, I guess we going back and shooting it up again. Bam, went back, shooting it up again. Get Daryl back. That's why I like Rick. Rick, he goes out of his way to help his people, but at the same time, you can see how all the death and grief and all that takes its toll on him. Too many times you get a show where the main character, they make him like Superman. He's this great big leader, and no matter what happens, he's always gonna be good. But you see it take its toll on Rick, which is what a lot of fans are like. Man, we tired of Rick wandering around chasing Lori, and I'm tired of it too. Personally, I cheered. I was so fucking happy when Lori got off because all she did was bring drama to the group. Never did anything to help the group out. It was always putting Rick and Shane against one another. Whether she did it intentionally or not, I don't care. That's irrelevant. You still brought nothing but drama to the group, Lori. So I was happy when she got axed. You know. Let's see. Glenn, Maggie. Oh yeah, Daryl and Merle. Daryl's my number 2 favorite character of the show. He's like Rambo trapped in Zombieland. That's why I like Daryl. Daryl a bad motherfucker. I like Daryl. It was good to see him. They did their thing where they saved that Mexican family on the bridge, and even though Merle is a complete jackass and whatnot, he still makes the show entertaining. One of the reasons why Woodbury, those scenes are so boring now is because he's not there. You took the one thing from Woodbury that made it interesting, and you took it away. Merle and the zombie daughter, both gone. All we got is the one-eyed governor and Andrea walking around, duh, 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 like that. And I'm like, man, come on. Nobody want to see that, man. Nobody want to see Andrea no more. I hope she get killed off tomorrow, man. A big what the fuck is the person who drove the vehicle in, crashed the game, let the zombies in. Now, a lot of people are saying it might be Andrea, which would make her even more of a dumb bitch. But if it is, I'm glad to see something happen with Andrea instead of her wandering around the town, like they do on Chappelle doing a robot all the time. That's what she's doing to me, and I don't want to see Andrea just wandering around Woodbury. I want to. If you with the governor, I want to see you with the governor. Come through, shoot up the prison with him, whatever. If you ain't with the governor, come back to the prison and start busting at the governor. I'm tired of this. Andrea's on the fence. She doesn't know what to do. I'm tired of that. Make a decision, Andrea. Man the fuck up. As Paul Mooney would say. Let me see. Something else about this episode. Like I said, if the episode would have went Rick, making out with, his imaginary wife, go straight to Glenn, having his meltdown. Then you go to Daryl and Merle. Then you come back to the prison, Axel getting popped. It would have been perfect. Instead, we got Woodbury, Andrea. Where's the governor? Andrea talking to the governor. Where's the governor? And that sucked up like half the show, and it just felt. Oh, if I could fast forward past that shit, I would, but I can't. What am I hoping for next week's Walking Dead? One of the big hooks for me when it went on its hiatus mid-season was they showed the clip of Carl talking to Rick saying that he doesn't think he should be the leader no more. And that was something I was like, ooh, he gonna beat that boy's ass. Ooh. Kind of like that about it. I know he ain't gonna whoop Carl's ass, but it's kind of like, it's a moment that I've been waiting to see. And when they showed that clip as a preview to next week's episode, that got me fired up for it. It's not the governor. Honestly, if the governor and Rick ain't looking at each other face to face, I really don't care, to be honest. I'm tired of this cat and mouse. I want to see Tyrese in the next episode. A lot of people are saying Morgan, the guy from season 1, the first episode, might come back this season, and that would be great. I've been waiting for him to pop back up, but I'm I want to see what happens with Tyrese. You know, he's real interesting. You know, if Tyrese joins the group now, that's a fucking Heat team against the governor. You know, you're gonna have Merle, you're gonna have Michonne if those two don't kill each other. Daryl, Rick, and when you add Tyrese against the governor who has one eye and is the governor, the random Mexican guy, I guess his name is Martinez, who can't even shoot worth shit as we saw in the last episode. The mad bitch scientist who don't do nothing, and Andrea who's against these five. That's ownage right there. That ain't even fair, man. That ain't even fair. I don't think no one wants to fuck with Rick. I wish the governor could watch these episodes of The Walking Dead just to see how warped Rick is right now. And maybe he wouldn't want to fuck with Rick, but both of them are pretty, but they're both pretty fucked up. Damn. So much to say about The Walking Dead. I love this show. Um, Let me see. What was my favorite episode? My favorite episode was when Lori died because I've been waiting for that to happen since the first season. That bitch is getting on my nerves since season one. You know, I just hated her character, man. Just all this drama. You know, Rick and Shane would have been cool, man. Bros were for hoes, man. She fucked it up, man. She fucked it up. You know, being all emotional and shit. Uh, Five characters I do not want to see killed. Number one, Rick. They scared me this episode. I thought they were really gonna kill Rick. But then Daryl, my number two character, came and saved Rick. Number three character I don't want to see get off. Oddly enough, it's Merle. I hated Merle in season one. I hate that man so bad, but he's entertaining, man. His bullshit is entertaining. You know, if Merle would have got killed in season one, we wouldn't have seen Glenn take a beating, who is the number four character, Glenn. You know, Glenn worked his way up to number four because he was on the fence for a while, man. You know, it's good to see him develop into the character he is now. Glenn was never no bitch. That's not what I'm saying. Glenn was always okay, but he went from being okay to being okay. This dude got some balls, man. He fucking curb stomped a zombie in the last episode. The moment for the week that had me laughing was when Rick started pistol whipping zombies. That shit had me dying. I'm sorry, man, but I've never seen anything with a zombie just getting pistol whipped. That shit had me rolling. I was like, this man pistol whipping zombies? That's badass, man. This dude pistol whipping zombies, man. You know, people come with knives and shit, knives to the face. This man can't pistol, no ammo. Pistol whipping them in the face. You know, so I was like, damn. Damn. Next week's episode, if they put that Carl scene in it with him questioning Rick, I might give it a 5-star thing because I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting to see these two have this confrontation since Laurie's death, but it's really been put off with Rick having his, you know, psychological meltdowns and whatnot. Herschel is my number 5 character I don't want to see get off. Just because he's Herschel, man. He ain't doing that to nobody. He kind of holds the group together in his own way. He's the old guy of the group. You know, the biggest death of The Walking Dead, no death has affected me. When Sophia got killed, I wasn't sad. I was tired of motherfuckers searching for her. Because I'm like, man, y'all in a zombie apocalypse, man. Y'all searching for this kid, man. But when Dale got killed, that's when I was like, man, come on, man. Why y'all had to kill Dale? Why you had to kill Dale? And I actually missed him for the next few episodes because I liked his character. He was the old guy who kind of knew everything that was going on. I'm looking forward to next week's Walking Dead. Feel free to tell me your thoughts on the show, what you think should happen next, what character you hate the most, what character you like the most. Out. Back next week.